Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are at episode 5 of Kids Deserve It. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with educators and game changers from around the country. This week, we have an amazing guest and a great friend of ours. But first, I guess we can go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Todd Neslony. I'm a principal lead learner at Webb Elementary in Navasota, Texas.
I'm Adam Welcome, elementary principal in Danville, California, the Bay Area, just outside San Francisco.
And then we have our incredible guest this week, Angela Myers.
My first blab. I'm so happy.
We are so happy to have you here for your first blab as well. Adam?
So make sure, viewers, to participate in the chat. You can ask questions on the bottom right and send a message for Angela, and we can get to as many of those as we can.
Yes, absolutely. I want to hear from you.
And we want to thank everyone for watching last week's episode with Chris Pombano. We love seeing all what you guys are doing to recognize everybody with the challenge from last week with the Kids Deserve It hashtag. So we have a great show for you this week.
Angela, we have a few questions for you, and Todd is going to kick it off.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
Angela, for those who don't know who you are, tell us about yourself in about 1 minute.
Oh my gosh. So I am a passionate educator. I've been in education 27 years. It's my heart. It's my life. I'm also a writer and a speaker and probably a million other things. Most importantly, a mom and a wife. And so I'm very excited to be at home because I haven't been home very much. So I'm very excited to be here with my family in Colorado. And so that's me. Oh, and I run a social movement with about 1 million kids changing the world. That.
Yeah, that's a piece too.
Yeah.
Nice. Angela, what is something you've done recently that you feel is really innovative or pushing the way things have been done in the past? Something that you're really proud of?
Oh my gosh. Every single thing I do, I try to push forward. And I think it's not necessarily recently, but every minute of my life, since this movement started, I've been trying to make sure that people all over the world, not just children, but teachers and leaders and human beings that need to know they matter, absolutely know that and spread the message of mattering in every school, in every student, in every community. And to do that as fast as I possibly can. And patience is not my genius at all. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so enamored with Blab. I love all those high fives. I love you guys. Look there's like 85 of them. It's awesome. How can
something
lab? This is awesome.
Something you just said, Angela, really struck a chord. Like educators, teachers, leaders, but also human beings. It's not just for people in school. It's because we're supported in our communities by human beings, people that aren't working in our schools. And I really appreciate that. It really brings the whole community effect together for schools.
Absolutely. And the world. I think the world is calling out right now. We don't have a bullying problem. We have a mattering problem. We don't have an injustice problem. We have a mattering problem. People that are hurt other people. And there's not an excuse for people that are hurting, but the world is hurting desperately right now. And this is not a warm, fuzzy message. This is an absolute pandemic. Mattering is at pandemic levels. And we are seeing the impact of it at grand scale, at a level I've never seen before. Everything from morale to disengagement to everything that we're seeing in the world that's happening right now. So
I agree.
And,
well,
Angela, you're speaking our.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You said you're speaking our language. That's why we started Kids Deserve It.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and that leads really well into our next question, Angela. What is the biggest challenge that you face working with educators and kids?
I think the biggest challenge is the pace of things, not necessarily with kids, but with the world, with grownups, that the pace in which things happen, which is why the entire movement of Choose to Matter has been driven by children. They don't think. They see wrong in the world. They see heartbreak in the world, and their gut innate instinct is, what are we going to do about it? And I've been there at that moment where I'm working with 125 kids I literally met 6 days ago on Twitter. They were brave and they reached out and they were really convincing, and they sent me, a picture like, will you Skype with us? And of course I'm like, oh yes, of course I will, for 15 minutes. And 2 hours later, I'm with these 125 kids. In literally 6 hours, they got leaders from their community, everybody from community leaders to school leaders together. We had a conference call. Within 2 days, they had a Google Doc written up of everything that they're going to do, every brand they're going after, every way they're going to spread the message. The only thing they said it would be really cool is if they had T-shirts. They weren't asking for millions of dollars in accolades. I went to Miami with Todd and with a whole bunch of other educators, and by the time I got back 4 days later, they had already been to every elementary school in the city and every middle school in the city, and they had other cities coming to them to spread the message of mattering. That's amazing. Need a committee. They did not need to meet with 57 people. They didn't need a 3-ring binder that's 50 feet long with 177 years of implementation. They said, this is heartbreaking. Our community doesn't feel like they matter, and we are going to change it right now. And that's the speed in which this movement has been happening. And my biggest challenge and in that my biggest fear and failure is that I can't keep up with what they deserve, with what kids deserve, with the honor and the respect and the resources and the manpower necessary to help them fuel what they're willing to lead and fuel. And that breaks my heart, but it also makes me jump out of bed every single morning to try to do that. Because
you got a lot to do.
Yeah, I have a lot to do. And I just want to say, could you stop changing the world for 6 days? Just maybe
gotta catch up
to get ready. I can't handle your awesomeness. So it's incredible.
That's great.
Angela, we talk about failure a lot. We always focus on what we do well, but failure is definitely part of the game.
Gosh.
What's something that you've done that you failed miserably at or has been incredibly difficult or faced backlash? And then how did you learn and grow from it and become stronger?
There's been so many failures, multiple times a day. I probably still haven't had my biggest failure yet. So I actually, and I'm not trying to sound cheesy, I actually do not calibrate things in terms of failure or even success, because I am absolutely never satisfied. It can be the most magnificent. Our largest Choose to Matter event, we had 6,400 K-12 students and nearly half the city, which would have been a boundary I never thought that I would reach. And even in that moment, as it's happening, and this really occurred, I'm like, okay, we could do this better, we could do this better, we need to do this, and for the next one. So failure is just a part of the process as much as success is a part of it. And, that's the deal. Failure is a daily operating procedure in my household. When I told my husband what I was talking about, he goes, make sure you tell them when you fail that you yell at your husband and that you make I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. No, but it really is a part of it. And so what you learn isn't to avoid it. What you learn is to get up and get on faster. And I think I've become better at that, not wallowing in my stress and frustration and just pain is part of the process. The root word of passion is to suffer. If you're doing truly passionate work, you are not happy even half the time.
Well, you talk so much about mattering and you do such incredible work with educators and with kids. Thinking about even the work you do now, or even when you were.
Oh, you just cut out just right at the middle of the question. What did you say? Oh, shoot, we lost Todd.
Todd, what advice do you have for others, Angela, that are facing diversity? I think that's what he was going to say.
I say this all the time. Again, it's not cliche. It's operational. Be brave. Be fierce. And as brave as I've been, and brave, the opposite of brave is not cowardliness. The opposite of brave is comfortability. And so being brave is being intentionally uncomfortable. And that's why you're always experiencing failure, because you're constantly putting yourselves in circumstances of uncomfortability intentionally. Because if you do it again and it goes really well, then it's not. Okay. It not only doesn't push.
I can't hear anybody, so I'm hoping somebody's answering.
We're talking.
You got Todd? Okay. You aren't doing anybody any service. You're not doing yourself service. And because I do so much work with children, I am not honoring their genius if I'm not pushing them, if I'm not making them uncomfortable. I'm not honoring teachers or leaders' genius I'm not there to make people feel good, which is so funny because people think that's what I do. I come in and make people feel good. I'm actually there for the opposite reason. I'm there to make you really uncomfortable and to feel good that you survived outside of your comfort zone and that you were brave and you were bold about that. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned, as bold as I've acted, I haven't asked boldly. So as I was really thinking about what is it that is my goal for 2016 or tomorrow, is that I have acted boldly, but because I've been so caught up in the action part of it, and lots of people have supported me, thousands of people have supported me, but I haven't asked boldly. I haven't asked for help boldly. I haven't asked for resources boldly. I was just hoping that they would like miraculously appear. And now I'm going to be fearless about that, because this movement needs fuel. It needs support, and it's not sustainable if we just keep doing it and not doing it well.
I love that. Hashtag be bold.
Yes, great.
Angela, every week we like our guests to leave a challenge for our viewers for the week, and using the Kids Deserve It hashtag. What is your challenge for the week?
My challenge is to do something uncomfortable, to be brave. But here's the thing, in front of your students, in front of your colleagues, in front of the world. And that's why I love you so much, Todd and Adam, is that, Todd, what makes you such an extraordinary, authentic leader is because you are unafraid of sharing your not so pretty moments, your struggles, your vulnerabilities. And I think when we just let go of being perfect and we own our full story, imperfections and all, and we show that this is not easy, we're doing the greatest service we can for other leaders and mostly our students. So doing something, not asking kids to do something, but doing something you're uncomfortable with in front of them. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be like, I don't like to public speak, or I don't like to sing, or whatever it is, to show kids that you are intentionally operating outside your comfort zone. Kids deserve it.
Be vulnerable.
They deserve a model.
Be vulnerable. I love it.
I agree.
We're going to grow, learn together. Todd's back. You want to finish this out, Todd?
And I couldn't hear anything. And then Adam was like, yeah, it's still going on. So I was like, oh my God.
I put my Christmas
Angela's got her
today. All my Christmas decorations, because I wanted to be happy. I was sick of the news and I was so depressed just watching everything. I'm like, we need to celebrate this beautiful spirit. Whatever you celebrate, however you celebrate, you need to celebrate whoever's in your life in whatever way you can, whatever makes you smile. You need to do that. And silver sparkles make me smile. But all over. I would be shocked if I don't have sparkles. My husband's like, no more sparkles in this house. There, sparkles are everywhere. You are done with the silver sparkles.
Well, Angela, we want to thank you so much for giving us 15 minutes of your time today. I know how busy you are, and we just absolutely love and adore you. You know how I feel about you. You're one of my favorite people ever, even cooler than Adam. So thank you so much for coming on tonight with us.
Oh, I love you guys so much. How do I say hi to these 546 people that are like, how do
Just say hi right now.
Hi. Like, how do I connect with them? Are you guys going to tweet after? Or like, how do I connect? Who do I see? How do I see who's behind all those faces? I got to meet you guys.
Well, everybody that's on Blab is connected with their Twitter accounts. So those little things you see on the side, those are their Twitter accounts too. And when the Blab's over, you'll be able to go back and see all that on the side. So it doesn't disappear.
I'm going to stay on Twitter for 15, 20 minutes before my family comes charging in. And if you have any questions or you want to tweet anything or share any brave thing that you want to do and just like, run it over with me. Like, can I do this? I'm like, yes, be brave.
I love it. And use the Kids Deserve It hashtag so we can follow the conversation as well.
All right. Awesome.
And we'll also post the YouTube of this too,
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thanks so much.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.